This is the Louie Tee Network.
In the Lab Room.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. But first comes the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. We in the lab room.
In the Lab Room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie Tee? Welcome. You are in the Lab Room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the 5th installment of the In the Lab Room podcast draft series. Wall-to-wall coverage of the NFL offseason here on the In the Lab Room podcast. We've been talking free agency. Last week, we dedicated the podcast to nothing but free agency talk. We've been talking NFL draft, and we'll do a little bit of that today. Get to some more free agency talk as well. A lot to get to. A lot has transpired since the last time we were able to chop it up here on the podcast. So we're going to jump into a lot of the moves that have been made in free agency. Do a little bit of draft talk. Before I get into anything, though, that In the Lab Room intro, and that's right, third Thursday of the month, In the Lab Room throwback podcast episode, Throwback Thursday here on the In the Lab Room podcast. That throwback intro never gets old. Big shout out to King Coop for laying that down and laying the new one down that we had this year on the show. And he's going to do it again next year. And he just brings a little bit of extra flavor to my show, man, and I really appreciate King Coop. Big shout out to King Coop for bringing that heat each and every single time he lays it down on my program. So I really thank him for doing this because it gives my show a little bit of flavor and it brings some uniqueness to my show. You can't get this anywhere else, man. King Coop bringing the heat each and every single time, man. Blessing y'all with another track here on the In the Lab Room podcast. That throwback intro never gets old. It doesn't matter how many times I play it. But that being said, let's jump into a little bit of some upcoming dates for you. I wanna let you guys know what I have going on in the near future in terms of programming. And first things first. Every year, you know, I do my mock draft, and I only do one. And look, I'm not here to wave and wag my little finger at all the people doing multiple mocks. I've already had one of my viewers of my program tell me, hey, it's enjoyable. We like the multiple mocks. Okay, so you guys can have the multiple mocks, the 6.0, the 3.0, the 27.0. You guys can keep that. I'm a one mock guy, okay? And I call it the mock of integrity. And so you're going to get the official In the Lab Room Louie Tee Network 2016 NFL Draft mock of integrity on Monday, March the 28th at 8 p.m. I always drop my mock draft a month out from the draft. And Monday, March 28th, will be exactly 1 month away from the April 28th draft this spring. So, once again, Monday, March the 28th at 8 p.m., you will get the official Louie Tee in the Lab Room 2016 NFL Draft mock of integrity. Yeah, I'm going to bring the heat this year, man. I'm going to bring the heat. And I'm looking to get more picks right this year. It's going to be well thought out, well crafted. But as always, it's going to be entertaining. And that's what you come to my channel for. Entertainment of the highest quality. And that's what my mock drafts have been in the past. And that's what it's going to be this year. So expect nothing but the best when you come check out my mock on Monday, March 28th at 8 p.m. I'm going to continue to do my Draft Prospects 101 series up until I release my mock. Once I release my mock draft, there will be no more Draft Prospects 101 series breakdowns. I will stop doing that and then turn my attention to a program that I think I'm going to start doing every Tuesday leading up to the draft. It's going to be called In the Draft Room Live. And that's something that I'll do every Tuesday. There'll be more details as to how that will shake out and, when it will be up. And I'll have a lot more information on that particular program as it nears closer. As it draws closer, I'll give you more information, probably cut a promo for it and everything so you guys will know exactly when to expect that. But enough of that. Enough of me setting the table. Let's jump into some actual content, which you came here for. And as always, we got to start it off by dropping a gem on your melon. Let me drop this gem on your melon. Open your mind, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with your man, Louie Tee Double E. Open up your brain, get you thinking a little bit. Drop this gem all up on your melon. We had some pro days that took place over the last week and a half. If you haven't been paying attention, and look, free agency can be very, very hypnotizing. I mean, it can really put you in a trance. And everything else that's going on around you can kind of go by the wayside. Well, that's why I'm here, to make sure you don't miss anything. So, Baylor had their pro day recently, and we know the big attraction there. Wide receiver Coleman, who did not get a chance to run at the combine, sports hernia, well, he got to run at his pro day. 4.4 flat for Mr. Coleman. We knew he was going to run fast. Fast guys run fast, as a wise man once told me. And that's what Coleman did. He ran fast. So he checked that box. He went out. He caught the football. He's going to be a guy that probably comes off the board relatively early. Again, this is not a deep draft at wide receiver. It's all about what you're looking for, okay? I feel like there are a number of guys that can come in and help you. I don't want to sell the receiver group short. And we know they've been beat up because of the slow 40 times. But there are a number of guys that can come in and help right away. And I think Coleman may be one of those receivers. We'll see. But that 4.4 flat definitely helps as he continues his journey to the NFL draft. Leonard Floyd, Georgia, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, defensive end, you call him what you want. Leonard Floyd was a guy that ran at the combine but came up lame after running one of his 40s. Didn't participate in any of the on-the-field drills. So his pro day was going to be huge. Ran a 4.6 flat at the combine, which was a great time. He was going to stand on that at his pro day. But teams were looking forward to seeing him in the on-the-field drills, which he did not participate in at the combine. Well, Leonard Floyd went out, did a couple of drills, and then stopped abruptly because of an upset stomach. He said he had ate something that morning that didn't sit well with his stomach. He felt sick, could not continue. Many of the evaluators, scouts, GMs, coaches in attendance were very disappointed. But it is what it is. So now he's going to have a battering slew of tests by individual teams. He's going to have individual workouts. Already seen a couple of them that were scheduled for him. You know, the Raiders are one of those teams. I think the Colts are another team that has an individual workout scheduled for Leonard Floyd, and I expect him to have a bunch of those lined up, being that he wasn't able to showcase his skills at the pro day now. So Leonard Floyd, he's already a polarizing figure in this draft as it is, not really having another good showing at his pro day. Ohio State, the Ohio State University, they put on their own combine of sorts. 22 players, probably 20 of those guys are going to get drafted, if not all of them. Every single team was in attendance, including a bunch of head coaches, GMs. This was a big one, folks. Big pro day out in Ohio State. And I want to run through a couple of the big names that we know, talk about how they were able to fare at the Ohio State Pro Day. Let's start with Joey Bosa, probably the biggest name and going to be the first guy coming off the board of the Ohio State group. Ran in the 4.7s, mid 4.7s is what has been reported, upping his time from 4.87. And this was actually broadcast live on ESPN, on NFL Network. Look, I don't get into all of that stuff. I'm not watching a pro day. That's why I watch the combine. I'm not getting into the pro days. I'll listen to what everybody else reports. But Bosa looked good. He ran in the mid 4.7s, which is what everybody expected him to run at the combine, and he didn't. And so he improved his time. Good for him. I didn't think the time that he ran at the combine was going to, get anybody off the Bosa train. If you were on it before the combine, you were still on it when he left the combine. If you were on the fence, maybe that 4.87 scared you a bit. But again, Joey Bosa isn't going to be around for all those teams, after 10. He's going in the top 10 of this draft, and I don't think the combine or running a 4.87 was going to change that. Well, he ran a 4.75, 4.76, somewhere in there. Great for him. Improved his time. Let's look at some of these receivers. Michael Thomas is a guy that a lot of people like, big physical receiver. I thought he was faster than the 4.57 he ran at the combine. Well, he ran that at his pro day. He ran a sub 4.5, so he ran faster, which is what I expected, because when you watch him on tape, he looks like a 4.48 guy, 4.47 guy, and that's apparently what he ran right in that area at his pro day. So that's good for him. Better time. I thought he caught the football well at the combine, so that improved time is going to help his draft stock immensely. What about Braxton Miller? B. Millie, a guy that I wasn't that high on coming out of the combine. I was excited to see him at the combine. Didn't think he was all that impressive at the combine. All reports were that he looked good. He went out, caught the football better than he did at the combine. But most importantly, he ran faster, because the big buzz on him was that he's a fast guy, gonna run fast, gonna wow us with his athleticism and speed. Ran a 4.5 flat at the combine. Not that fast, not that impressive. Well, 4.35 is what he was timed as. Again, we're talking hand times here, not electronically done, so everybody's gonna have a different time. He may not be 4.35, but he's around a 4.4 guy. He looks that fast on tape, and it wouldn't shock me in the least if that's right around where he runs. So he improved his time. That's the most important thing. Big time. So that's good for Braxton Miller. Vonn Bell, here's an intriguing guy. Safety, didn't perform at all at the combine, was injured. Really was intrigued to see what he would run, because I think he's going to be one of those first safeties off the board. When you're talking about the safety position, Vonn Bell is going to be one of those guys that's going to really garner a lot of interest at the safety position. And this is a deep safety group this season going into the draft. So I was really interested to see what Vonn Bell would run. He ran a 4.51. And again, for a guy with his talents and his skill set running that fast, that bodes well for Vonn Bell in this draft. And I think he really helped himself by going out and running a 4.51. So good for Vonn Bell. Good for Vonn Bell and good for his draft stock as well. The biggest enigma, potentially not just at Ohio State, but in this entire draft class, is Cardale Jones. And from all accounts, he went out and stroked it at the Ohio State Pro Day. Almost called it the Combine, which is what it essentially was for them. So many guys there. Missed a couple of deep throws, but for the most part, he was sharp, wowed everyone, and everyone knows he has a big arm. And I think his physical talents and his gifts, being able to throw the football and a little bit of athleticism sprinkled in, is really going to intrigue some teams. And I think they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to talk to everyone that they need to talk to. Urban Meyer said, look, physical gifts are there. He's got everything you're looking for at the quarterback position. The only thing that he lacks is experience. So I think Cardale Jones is a wild card in this draft, and Mike Mayock has said that on numerous occasions, and I agree with him. You know, he also threw Christian Hackenberg in there as a wild card. I don't really think Christian Hackenberg is a wild card. I don't look at him as such. I think Cardale Jones, however, definitely a wild card, because I think a lot of people, a lot of teams are intrigued by what he brings to the table. And it would not shock me in the least if after the big three goes, and the big three, of course, going to be Goff, going to be Wentz, going to be Lynch, and really, to me, big four. Because I think after those guys come off the board, and maybe Paxton Lynch isn't third. Maybe that's Connor Cook. Either way, I think Connor Cook, Lynch, they're interchangeable 3-4. After those four come off the board, it wouldn't shock me in the least if Cardale Jones is the next guy off the board. So, and there are a number of quarterbacks in that next range. You know, your Brandon Allens, your Dak Prescotts, your Hogans. All of those guys are right in the mix to come off the board then. And I think you can either throw Cardale Jones in that discussion, and I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's the next guy after the big four come off the board. So that's my melon dropping session today. Talking a little draft, a little bit of pro day action. More pro days to come. USC's got a pro day coming up soon. That's going to be a big one for guys who didn't run, like Asua Cravens. Going to see what they do. So that'll be interesting to see down the line. I'll try to keep you posted on all those pro days and the different happenings of the draft here on the In the Lab Room podcast as those things transpire. Let's go foraging through the fodder. Free agency fodder, that is. Let's go foraging through the fodder, man. Free agency fodder here on the In the Lab Room podcast. A lot has taken place since the last time we've talked free agency. A lot of things have happened. The Patriots have gotten busy, my friends. They have gotten busy, folks. They're not playing around. This feels a lot like 2 seasons ago when it was an arms race between the Broncos and the Patriots. It felt like Yankees, Red Sox, almost. When they were going tit for tat, Patriots went out and got Darrelle Revis, and they did all of this stuff. Broncos countered by getting Talib and TJ Ward and DeMarcus Ware. It was a frenzy. Those guys were going tit for tat, it seemed like, that offseason. And it seems like the Patriots realized we were so close last year to beating the Broncos. Despite all the injuries, despite our offensive line being in shambles, we were close. We were right there on the fringe of beating them. If we go out, make a couple of moves, upgrade our roster here, upgrade our roster there, make a move here, make a move there. No more Peyton Manning. No more Brock Osweiler in Denver. Why not us? Why can't we go get us another chip? That's the thinking in New England. And these moves that they made kind of speaks to that. Let's talk about the free agency fodder. Let's start with the Patriots, man. Patriots getting busy. On Tuesday, this week, Patriots trade defensive end Chandler Jones in his 12.5 sacks from last year, in his prime, mind you, to the Arizona Cardinals for a second-round pick and former first-round pick Jonathan Cooper, offensive guard. Now, let's talk about this trade from both sides quickly. For the Patriots, I wasn't a big fan of this trade, first and foremost, because Chandler Jones is a player at a premium position. He's a defensive end. He's a quarterback bagger. Guys that hunt in this league get paid top dollar. You know why they get paid top dollar? Because they don't grow on trees. You don't find guys that can go get you double-digit sacks every day. In this draft, in particular, not the greatest draft in the world for pass rushers. So if you're the New England Patriots, you have a guy in Chandler Jones that has proven himself to be a really good pass rusher in this league. You don't give him away. Simple as that. Now, in the Patriots' defense, I can't speak towards whether Chandler Jones has been a nuisance or not in that locker room, okay? Can't confirm nor deny that. We all know about the synthetic weed transgression right before the start of the postseason last year. Okay, so we're all aware of that. I don't know if that rubbed the Patriots brass the wrong way, if they don't feel like they can trust him moving forward. I don't know what that situation did in terms of impacting this move that was made. I will say this, though. I do know that Chandler Jones is in the last year of his rookie deal. I do know that Chandler Jones plays at a premium position. I do know that Olivier Vernon just broke the bank. I do know that last year, Justin Houston broke the bank. I do know that Vonn Miller is about to break the bank at a premium position. The Patriots are not stupid. They looked around at the league and they see how much these guys are being paid. And I'm not sure that they're comfortable paying Chandler Jones that type of money. Why? I don't know. Because the production on the field says that this guy should be paid like one of those elite pass rushers. Now, again, this is what the Patriots do, okay? It's the Patriots way. I can't stand it, but guess what? I understand it. The Patriots don't want to pay this guy money. That's what this move is about for me. I could be wrong. I could be 1,000% wrong. This could be something behind the scenes that I have no knowledge of. But on the face of this, at face value, on the surface, it looks like the Patriots are running away from paying Chandler Jones the type of money that he's going to be able to command on the free agent market next year. And instead of paying him that type of money or allowing him to walk away in free agency, they're just going to get something for him in advance. This is what the Patriots do. I hate it because we always laud them and applaud them and praise them for being ahead of the curve. Well, damn all of that. I'm not applauding or praising them for a goddamn thing here. You know why? Because this is the Patriots simply being cheap as hell. This is them not wanting to pay Chandler Jones the money that he's going to command on the free agent market next season. And instead of just allowing him to walk or having to do the whole franchise tag dance with him because they don't want to pay him, because they want to lowball him, they said, you know what? Let's get something for him. When they traded Logan Mankins, when they traded away Richard Seymour, when they traded away Randy Moss, this is what they do, okay? They don't want to pay guys. They want to be ahead of the curve. Damn that. They're being cheap here. And instead of them keeping a guy that can help them get over the top and win another chip, they want to go out and get cheap labor. They want to go out and get a guy that's still on his rookie contract that is underperforming in Arizona, that they may be able to get something out of. Jonathan Cooper may turn out to be a really good player for the New England Patriots moving forward. I don't have a problem with that. But a second-round pick, what the hell are the Patriots going to do with that? Since when have the Patriots been great at the draft? Okay? They're not. Every now and again they hit a guy, but for the most part, the Patriots have not been great. Since Belichick has been there, that has been probably their weakest part of their football team. Building that whole organization, you look at everything that they do it great, except the draft. It's the one thing the Patriots haven't done great over the life of Bill Belichick's tenure in New England. So getting a late second-round pick, To hear the rest of this podcast and more, go to the website LouieTeeNetwork.com, or you can find this podcast and more on iTunes or Stitcher. That's LouieTeeNetwork.com or on iTunes and Stitcher.